Yeah, hi there, Mooden, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. I've already listened to part of your pretest, part A. I'm now going to listen to your answer the three questions at the end of the pretest, and I'll probably interact with you a little bit more too.
Background and my work history. My education
Now, be careful sometimes when you're speaking like background. Sometimes you're not pronouncing the D and other consonants at the end of a word. That is one of the first ways that you can make it difficult for native speakers to understand you. Now, it could be in your own language, you may not be pronouncing those final consonant sounds. Maybe you don't do that in your first language, but you definitely need to do that in English.
background is in econometric and statistics. Uh,
Again, statistics. Don't forget to pronounce your S when it's at the end of a word.
Previously, I worked for the
When you want to talk about something in the past, previously I worked. I worked as.
software company. It is important for me to
You work for Subway. That's a big company.
improve the speaking and pronunciation abilities of American English
All right.
because I want to learn in US, a university in US. So I
Usually I want to learn what we would most native speakers would say I want to study in a university in the US, not I want to learn in. But you can say I want to learn. But that's probably not as natural sounding as saying study.
uh, want to pass the TOEFL and
You want to say I want to pass pass the TOEFL. So you're not pronouncing the P with enough air.
also I can talk with my colleagues and students if I can
You want to say with my colleagues, I would say. With my colleagues and students.
approve to a university. And my hope to achieve in this course,
My hope is to achieve, I would say. So you left out your verb there.
I hope to
Unless you said, let me go back. You might have said, I'm not sure if you said my hope or I hope.
so I want to pass the TOEFL and also I can talk with my colleagues and students if I can approve to a university. And my hope to achieve in this course,
Yeah, my hope is to achieve, I would say, or I hope to achieve.
I hope to have a score of 90 so that I can be
Okay, so you want to score over 90.
uh, admitted to a university in US.
All right, it's fair enough.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Sounds like you have some pretty good goals. All right, so now what I want to do is I'm going to focus on the different lessons I think you want to focus on the most in the pronunciation area of my course. I got kind of bad news for you. You got a lot of trouble with pronunciation. So for the next few months, you really, and I mean really, want to have a lot of exposure to the English language. That means you're watching TV in English every day. You listen to the radio in English. You're talking to native speakers in English as much as you can. You need a lot of exposure, and gradually you will begin to reduce your accent. Now, here are the lessons. You should focus on lesson number 8, lesson number 9, lesson number 10. Number 11, it is just impossible for you with this one right now. You basically said meet, meet, Pete, Pete, leap, leap. I say meet, mit, Pete, pit, leap, lip, seat, sit. But you're not making the distinction there, so it could be the I, the mit, pit, sit, lip, hit. those vowel sounds might not exist in your language, so you're going to have to learn how to form those sounds. Unfortunately, it's difficult to teach the tongue to do new things, but you can do it in my course. You definitely can learn how to form these sounds. Also, lesson number 13, especially the CH in the beginning of a word like chaffed, shaft, cheer, sheer. Also, lesson number 16, you want to practice the sounds in this lesson. Number 17, now, with this one, there's a few lessons in here where this is the case. Now, you have the K and the G at the end of these words. The K is a voiceless consonant sound. The G is a voiced consonant sound. As you go through my vowel and consonant sound lessons, you'll learn more about the characteristics of vowels and consonants. So here's the bottom line. The vowel before a voiceless consonant should not be long. It should not be pronounced too long. Now, the G is a voiced consonant. The vowel which precedes it should be longer. For example, cake, keg, sink, sag, lake, lag. So you're saying lake, lag, sink, sag, cake, keg. So you're not making this vowel longer because it precedes that voiced consonant. So that's something you want to work on. Also, number 19, the same thing. Check this out. But you got two problems with this one. The first problem is when you say the word flap, you say flab, cap, cab, because the B is a voiced consonant, so the vowel should be longer. Now, your second problem here is the P. You're not pronouncing it with enough air. You're saying bay, bay, base, base, but it's pay, bay, pace, base. Also, you want to work on lesson number 20, especially the Z. Zip, zoo, lies. Lesson number 23, the same as before. You have tight, tide, fat, fad. You have to make the A longer because it's before a voiceless consonant. And also you're having trouble with lesson number 24, which is the TH. Thigh, thy. Breath, breathe. So you want to work on that also. Alrighty. Anyway, thank you for doing the pretest. So now you know that you do have some pronunciation difficulties. Remember, part of your progress is realizing what your problems are and knowing what to look out for, knowing what you're having difficulties with. Now, generally, when you're speaking, you're not pronouncing your final consonant sounds, and you want to remember that. And when you start doing my TOEFL speaking practice test, if you don't pronounce those final sounds, I will be the first person to tell you that you need to work on that, and you want to be aware of that. And in time, remember, as you get more exposure and more practice with the language, you will do better in these areas. All right, now as you go through my videos, I recommend that you read out loud with me as I teach you the information in those videos. This is a great way to work on your tone, your rhythm, your pacing, and all the vowel and consonant sounds in there. You can work on speaking more clearly. That's why I named this section of my course what I did, so you can work on those pronunciation issues. Alrighty, Mooden. Anyway, thank you for posting your pretest. Keep up the good work. Remember that you can now begin posting one speaking and one writing practice test every day that you're one of my students, and I will score it or make sure it gets scored so you can continue to improve both your speaking, your pronunciation, and your writing proficiencies.